talk to you guys about ayahuasca and plant medicine, how it helps the mind, body, and spirit. And I'm here with my good friend Micheal Boothby, who's a spiritual healer, a facilitator, and to shed some information on this topic. So go ahead.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Lisa. Where to begin? I mean, I guess I can talk about first just my journey with just psychedelics and plant
Maybe
medicine.
just talk a little bit what is ayahuasca?
Sure. Yeah, great question. Right. So ayahuasca is an entheogenic brew from South America. It's made with the vine and the leaves. The vine is the Banisteris caapi, and depending on where you are, whether you're in Brazil, Peru, Colombia, different countries, there's different like analogs for the leaf. There's chacruna, chalipanga. There's a lot of different kind of analogs, but essentially what it is, it's a mix between an MAOI and DMT, right? Dimethyltryptamine, which is it's been known as the spirit molecule, but ayahuasca essentially it's an ancient brew that has been used by shamans in the Amazon for healing for thousands of years. It's become quite popular recently amongst the West, right? There's a lot of, I know Aubrey Marcus did a documentary on it. There's a lot on YouTube about ayahuasca, but really it's a powerful psychedelic brew essentially, and to help you, really, I mean, in my experience, it's been the most spiritual experience that I have had from, right, whether it's mushrooms or whatever the psychedelics in my life, but it goes a lot deeper than that, which I think we're going to get into.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
But I want to explain to most people, because people don't really understand, how does this plant medicine actually help our minds and our bodies and our spirits, and how can it actually help with all these physical and emotional ailments and things that people have been holding on to, such as PTSD, depression, anxiety, even cancer, even things such as tumors and other blockages, pain, and just all these autoimmune diseases. So maybe you can just elaborate, why do you think it would be beneficial for them to inquire about ayahuasca and how this can help their spiritual journey? Because there's a lot of people who are in a dark place right now, and we want to shed and bring light to themselves and to help and to promote, to give this ayahuasca. This ayahuasca is really it's a beautiful gift from God, and it's been healing the planet and it heals people. And so on my spiritual journey, I have found that I just evolved. This will be my 5th time doing it, and I just keep evolving as a human, and it really helps all my ailments, and I feel like I'm closer to God because of it. So maybe you can just talk about your personal experience and the benefits, why someone should inquire, and talk to a reliable source, because there's a lot of sources that are not reliable.
Right.
So maybe what are the steps they can take to find local communities, or to find shamans, and to find people that know about this, that have some information on that.
Yeah, I mean, so they always say with ayahuasca that it comes to you, it finds you, and that was the experience in my life. So in 2017 is when I did my first ceremony. I was living in Chicago at the time, and I was a part of a Kundalini yoga studio, and I met my shaman. He came by earlier that year in February, and he did a breathwork ceremony. And that was also my first time doing like holotropic breath work, and it was really powerful, and I released a lot. And he had an email list at the end and said, hey, if you want to go a little deeper, right, here's my email list. And I said, yes, I would love that. And so, yeah, I did my first ceremony, I think in like September, October of 2017 with my shaman, who he travels all over the world doing this work, healing work, plant medicine work. And yeah, it was incredibly profound. At the time I was suffering from depression, anxiety. I moved to Chicago to be a performer, and it just wasn't going the way that I thought it would. I was like, I'm gonna be on SNL and write all these sketches, and it was really cold, and I struggled with isolation, and so that's I think when I went into my ceremony for the first time, I was really nervous. I was really excited. I was watching a lot of like videos online and just reading as much as I could. But there's nothing that can really prepare you for the experience. But and it was very intense. But it's what I needed. And so for me, my experience was my intention. Right, intentions are very important with ayahuasca. But I would argue with life in general, but also any psychedelic. Anytime you're putting anything in your mouth that's going to change how your brain works, you should have an intention, right? What am I using this for, and what am I hoping to get out of this? Because otherwise it can turn into just another thing, right? Just like a drink, which I don't know, or a tea, right? Exactly. There's a sacredness to it, with these teacher plants, right? That's another thing too that I want to kind of, at least my experience, but also what my teacher has taught me, is that, right, this is an intelligent plant, right? It's not like, oh, I'm having all these visuals, and it's like, yes, there's chemistry happening, but my experience has always been that there is more than that, right? That you're interacting with an intelligent plant spirit that is already inside of your body and can see what's wrong, and is going to work, and it's going to work to help alleviate trauma. That's what happened my first time. Is I purged, right? So the purge is a big part of the process, right? And so a lot of people vomit, or you go to the bathroom, and while it can be unpleasant, I would argue that that's kind of the point of it. That's the point of this medicine.
And then some people don't. Like, I didn't purge at all.
Right.
So everybody's different.
I've had experiences, right? I've had experiences, like my first time, it was really intense, but I had all of this stuff that I wasn't, it was unconscious, right? It was kind of these unconscious traumas and stuff, and they came up, and they came up to be released, right? And how is it released? It's released through the only system that we have, right? Yeah. That to get stuff in and out of our bodies. But exactly right. Some people get scared. Oh, am I gonna purge all? No. You might not. I've had very gentle, pleasant experiences. You had a very gentle experience last week. But I think it really is an intelligent medicine that will work with you where you're at. And
it's also your mindset. Are you journaling? What type of diet do you have?
What's your spiritual practice, right? It's like that's all of that stuff comes up in a ceremony, right? All of those little ways that you're kind of either self-sabotaging that you might realize or you might not realize. But I think ultimately with plant medicine, it's about bringing light, bringing awareness to our conscious and unconscious minds. And once we're aware of these habits and patterns, right, she'll do some work to get some of it out, but it's up to us to do the work, right? My teacher always said the work begins after the ceremony, right? Everyone thinks the ceremony is like it is. It's a big event, and it is really spectacular and can be very healing, but the integration that comes after it can be the most challenging part. It was hard for me, honestly. After my first weekend, I found myself actually being more depressed than I was before, because I knew what I was doing wrong, and I knew where I wanted to be, and I didn't know how to get there. And I had a therapist at the time, but he didn't really understand plant medicine. He was like, oh, I think my cousin did that. Right? So I didn't have a lot of people in my life who I could talk to about these experiences. And I'm blessed that now I do now. It's become a lot more popular over the last 5 years, and there's a lot of friends who've had these experiences who I can chat to with.
And you find your spiritual circle, because that's the beauty about this plant medicine, is you'll make friends with people that have done it before or inquire about it, and then before you know it, you have a spiritual family. And the plant medicine not only encourages you to just be your authentic true self and to find who you are, because sometimes we don't know who we are, and we have to go through this ups and downs and these emotions and experiences.
Yeah, I think the plant medicine work that I do, it ties a lot into my kind of creative consulting and my coaching that I do for people, because I genuinely do believe that all of us come into this world as like whole beings with a purpose, and we love stuff, we don't know why, but we're doing it, and then we live life, right? And our parents tell us, hey, don't do that, and school says no, actually, no, go to the principal's office, or and then you get a degree, and then you're 33 and you're in an office going, whoa, this is not what I want to be doing, right?
You should be finding your passion.
Right, you should be finding, right? Life should be about finding your passion, right? We live in a world that really exists to make money. And this world doesn't care how you make money. And so people, I think a lot of the times in life, they fall into either careers or relationships that might not really be aligned with who they really are. And they know it feels bad, but they say, excuses, right? Well, it's good money, or, well, it's a safe paycheck, it's comfortable. But, right, it's like, to me, and it's like, do you really want to live a life that's unaligned with who you are, right? Do you want to be on your deathbed going, like, man, I wish I played music the whole time, right? Or whatever. Again, these are just, I'm just riffing here, but yeah.
Well, so tell me, in all the times that you've done it, tell me
Sure.
that did it help with any of your depression or your isolation or any of those physical, emotional, spiritual aspects. How do you think it's helped yourself, as far as how do you think that your journey
Sure.
has been?
So I did around 4 ceremonies between 2017 and 2018 with my teacher, and I was living in Chicago at the time. Like I said, right, I wanted to be a performer, I wanted to be on SNL and all that, but it wasn't working out. And I realized this, like, at the time, I was in a relationship that was kind of codependent, and I was just really struggling. Honestly, like, it took my whole life kind of fell apart in Chicago. And that was like around 2019. But see, that's the thing, that might happen with this work. Is like, you might go into this work thinking like, okay, I want this, and then you have these experiences and you realize, actually, this life is not the life that I wanted. And sometimes it takes a big kind of shakeup to kind of to transform, rebirth. I think like the tower card in the tarot, I think for me was like my 2019. But since then, I've been on this path of rebirth. I mean, I kind of went away from spirituality for a while, and plant medicine. I think 2019, 2020, those whole 2 years, I was like living with my parents. It was really boring and it was really hard, but I look back now in hindsight and I realize, I was able to kind of restart my life from scratch, right? And moving home with your parents at 29 is not like anyone's ideal of success, but that's really what I needed. And I struggle to think who I'd be and what I'd be doing if I was still in Chicago. I don't think I'd be here, to be honest. So right, this is
you had the support, which was good. Yeah.
Right, I went to where the support was, which you have to. Support is so important. And I think that's, again, what I'm learning with this medicine too, is just like having community, having other people who have sat in ceremony and are constantly doing the work to improve themselves and do the hard work that is integration, right? Because we have these intense psychedelic experiences and these profound revelations, but if we can't act on those and create change in our life with a supportive community, then I think it makes transformation really hard. And I think that's something that's happening right now. A lot of people are going to South America for ayahuasca, right, for healing, and they have this transformational experience. They're in a group with other people that are also having, this crazy experience, but then everyone kind of goes home and there's no more community. Right, and then they're just back in their life and, what's that? Take the trash out, right? Or, whatever, you're back into your life. So for me, that's what I'm learning and I think that's what I'm learning, to kind of support people who have had these psychedelic experiences and now they're back in their regular life and they need support. And that's I think that's something that I am coming to kind of to offer people, because it's something that I wish I had. And the whole field of just kind of like a psychedelic research. I mean, obviously shamanism has been around for thousands of years, but I think here in the West, this is a fairly new phenomena that a lot of Westerners don't really understand. And so, but we're starting to see, without having to understand any of it, the healing potential for it.
And it's also healing the world too, because I know when I do the medicine, I can feel my ancestors come through, and I'm healing myself, I'm healing the planet, we're coming together, we're sending peace and love to the world. There's just this amazing feeling of, family coming together, being one together, connecting with nature. me, I felt like the spiritual journey I needed was, as a healer, you know, I have to work on myself to be the best so I can heal other people. And I'm constantly, every day, either I'm journaling or I'm meditating or I'm doing breath work or doing yoga or my vegan diet, or just constantly integrating all these holistic practices to be the best human, to be the best healer that I can be for me, for the rest of the world, for my clients, and sending and really being, since nature is our teacher, really honoring these trees, really, because I have the most respect for them, because they're the wisdom, like they're holding so much. Like I feel like at peace when I have the ayahuasca, because I am there to ask the grandmother, please give me that guidance and intuition and enlightenment, because you have all the wisdom. I want to learn from you. So you know, that's something, you know, something that we take for granted is nature's here for us to use. We're one with nature. We are nature. We're here to just really come together and to really, you know, benefit from each other, because they can feel our feelings, and so we need to just really honor that. And that's something that, you know, if you can maybe talk about how ayahuasca has you know, really transformed your world, because you were saying how it's helped you, but why you think that it's going to help, you know, why should people, you know, do this medicine, like if they just only get that one experience, how that they can change their whole life. Like, you know, sometimes they might have to do more than one. They might have to do 3 or 4 before they find that relevant.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, right, when you agree to sit with ayahuasca, I don't like, it's the beginning, right? You are courageously choosing to begin a healing process in your life, a deep healing process, and there might be stuff that comes up that makes you uncomfortable. It might be stuff that you've hidden from, or trauma, PTSD. I had a lot of childhood trauma that came up, but I really think that we have to face this. We have to face our inner fears and demons, because this whole world is just a projection of our inner world. So if we do not, as individuals, if we cannot as individuals conquer our internal fears, then we won't transmit, then we continue to project them out into the world. And so to create a better world, we all have to heal. We all have to do the work. And I really think, at least in my life, my experience with ayahuasca, when I came to ayahuasca, I feel like I did not have a lot of integrity. I was really creative. I was really all over the place, but I felt really disconnected from myself and others. And again, like, this is because of my trauma, which I didn't realize until my late 20s. I got into therapy and plant medicine, and just like this Kundalini yoga, this all breath work, all of these healing modalities, because they're tools, right? Ayahuasca, it's a plant medicine, it's a tool, right? It's
like you're shedding layers, like
right, it's like an onion, right? Healing is not like, it's not like you sit down, okay, I drink, oh, I'm cured, I'm healed, right? I'm healed. Your lifetime, and all your lifetimes are healed. No, it's not. It's a messy process, and it can be unpleasant, but like, right, that's a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. That process is also, the metamorphosis is unpleasant, but it's worth it, right? And so to me, it's just like, I think what this medicine gave me is courage. It's courage to sit with myself and to sit with my discomfort and breathe through it and see what's the lesson here. How, you know, what am I missing? And just exactly choosing to grow every day, be like a tree, right? This tree behind us, how old is this tree? And it's just here quietly giving oxygen and living and dying every year and just doing its thing, right? And it's so beautiful. And I think that's what this medicine has given me. It shows that healing, yes, it can be messy, but it's beautiful and it's natural, and it's just I don't know. Today, what's it now? It's not 2024. So almost 7 years, almost 7 years since I started this journey, and I can say, like, I have peace. I feel at peace with myself, the world right now is crazy, right? But it's always been crazy. And so, but I feel like I still have my struggles, but I get down a bit every now and then, but that's normal, right? Not every day is going to be a good day, but I truly do feel a deep connection to who my core, my authentic self. And every day I feel that I am slowly building a life that is more aligned with that, while also just recognizing the oneness in everything. Like that, I think the gift that ayahuasca gave me, more so than other psychedelics or plant medicine, mushrooms, and that is just, I just felt this intense oneness, this intense unconditional love. It's like right, like a mother to her child. And to feel that on like a universal cosmic level in a human body is really powerful, and it doesn't leave you.
That was so beautiful, Michael. Oh, you made me have tears in my eyes.
Good.
So, just wanted to thank you for being guest today on my YouTube channel. It's an honor and blessing, and I'm grateful to have you in my life. And so, just if you want to just talk a little bit about what you do, and then maybe I'll go ahead and just put some information down in the description on your website.
Sure.
People can contact you.
Yeah, so my website is michealboothbycreative.com. I describe myself as a champion of creativity. I myself am a singer-songwriter, spiritual guide. Right, I do so many things that, right? Creative consultant and spiritual guide is probably the most concise way to describe myself that other people will understand. So, I blog every week I connect ancient wisdom to kind of modern society. I talk about creative practices, mindfulness. There's all sorts of stuff coming in 2024 on the blog, but I'm also have a Facebook group, the Authenticity Accelerator, and I have a program too, an 8-week program that guides clients through kind of mythology, storytelling, and then ending with a little bit of actually AI usage, but how we can kind of use AI to help us with our marketing as healers, right? Instead of not using it to make art and do all the stuff for us, right? Which a lot of people are doing. But really, my business is here to help other people create and liberate themselves through creativity. And for me, right, plant medicine has been one of those avenues, but it's only one of a lot of different things that I do that help me find wholeness and help others find wholeness as well.
Perfect. So you can contact me at www.lamarhealing.com. I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.